CFG Game Cast, episode number 149, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Fridays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love, give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Well, I played a lot of games this week, and by a lot of games, I mean just Dreamlight Valley.
Are you
Last
hooked?
week, I come home and Adam's like, "Are you going to start dinner?" I'm like, "I have to go save people," and I run into my office. So yes, I am.
You have to save people in that game?
Well, kind of. I mean, they're not going to die, but you have to do quests for them, to like further along the storyline. So I'm like, Donald Duck needs me, and I run away. So yes, I am hooked. But yeah, I've been secretly playing that all week because I was on antibiotics last week for my thingamajiggy in
Secret.
my parts, and so
No, we don't have to.
Well,
Okay.
I couldn't
So
sleep at
continue on.
all week. Yeah, no, I couldn't sleep. So I was like up and down all night, like in and out of my office into the restroom. So I just, thanks antibiotic, but I got a lot of hours in on this game. What people did in like 2 days, as far as like slow progression in maybe like a 4-hour period, I was doing in like one. So, I did a lot. It's fun though. I like it. Hey, if you can't sleep, it's a great game, But yeah, no, I've just been real busy and, taking care of, all my dad's stuff and Brandy and the girls, and I'm a dad, so it's it's rough out in these streets.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. You see, so you didn't even stream or anything, right?
I haven't been streaming. I don't have the time for it at the moment, but things are gonna start opening up for me slightly a little bit. It's like oh, I do have free time next week, and then I'll schedule myself in on that free time in my calendar, and then something happens. I'm like, great, that's fun. So it's like this year is like the year of death for me, or like I'm just having to deal with a lot of people passing or about to pass, and that's what happened this week. So I was like, I don't have the energy. So, for my own mental health, like I'm going to come home, I'm going to play games, I'm going to shut up, I don't want to talk to nobody, I'm going to cook dinner, clean, and then go to bed. And that's what I've been doing. And by go to bed, I mean take a nap for an hour because I couldn't sleep.
Good night. Good night. That sounds terrible, but still, but that is. Hey, but Lex,
yeah.
you know the person who thinks that he's a genius because he keeps on taking all the stuff that I create for him.
I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. How are you doing, dude? I know that wasn't fair, but still,
terrible. You are terrible. This is literally Davis just bullies me before the show, after the show, whenever he gets the chance, in the middle of the show. He's a bully. Doing well, my friends, doing well. This was on top of, I know last week was pretty busy video game news wise. That continues. There's a lot of great topics that we're going to be talking about today as well. So I've kind of been following along that stuff. And then Dragon Ball The Breakers, the open beta started here a couple days ago. I had completely forgotten that I'd even signed up for it, but it's open to anybody on Steam. It's on PlayStation. It's on Xbox. No cross-play stuff or mention of that even being a thing. So
how does that feel though? Like, I mean, like, because I saw you stream a little bit of it and it was very interesting. It looks very weird.
Yeah, so like, I mean, if you're familiar with anything like DVD, those asymmetrical, what was that last one that just came out? Evil Dead. It's basically a 7v1, and and the one person is right now they only have 2 villains. They've got Frieza and they've got Cell, and then you create a character. Their character creators kind of, it's whatever. It is what it is. Not the greatest thing in the world.
The generic Bandai creator, essentially. It's the same old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is I'm talking about Dragon Ball: The Breakers, and basically you go around and you're trying to find these keys because you're basically getting sucked into these time rifts, and these villains are there from this time, which is Cell and Frieza, and then you as a person are trying to basically find these keys to power up this super time machine. Essentially, is how you escape. Now, the raider or the bad guy can then go in and blow up and destroy the time machine, and then other people, you have to find these other like little like transponders, and then there's like a time machine that will come down individually, and people can like hop on and stuff like that, and you can exit that way. Or you have these spirit orbs that then will pull you, and you can become one of the heroes from that time: Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, whatever. And you can literally kill the bad guy by beating the shit out of him, which that is the funnest way to win the game. Yeah. And then on the flip side of it, as a raider, you either have to down everybody, or you can blow up sections of the map and stuff like that. Or if you just basically take away their way of being able to escape, then it's game over. So I was enjoying it. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's group task based, but if you don't do it, you'll lose. So it's a 50-50 essentially. That's cool. Is it even like playing field, you feel? On both sides?
It definitely. So I got a couple games in as a raider, or I got one game in as a raider, and I won it. That was my first time ever playing raider. So like the raider, if he spots you, there's a good chance you're gonna die unless you have some like escape ability or something like that. There are some things. You have smoke, you have like a jump and like glide thing that you can do, or you can use your power up, because you get these power up things to be able to use the spirits and transform into these characters, and then you can like fly away, or you could take them head on. Which a lot of times that's based off of like almost like a timer, like the energy is like constantly depleting. So like you can level up to 3, which is going to be your strongest character. So the energy goes down slower, and you're able to take more time to either beat on him or just try to escape. So it's gonna, when it comes out, it's right now, like I said, it's free open beta on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and when it comes out, I think it's dropping at like $19.99. I believe it's a price for it, and then there's like one that comes with like digital assets for $29.99. So it's like the price is right. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Why not? It sounds cool. Sorry I interrupted you, Davis. I was intrigued.
No, that's fine. Well, you're the one that plays this kind of stuff, though. You're the one that plays that kind of stuff.
I like task-based things.
You would enjoy it. If you like the Dragon Ball series, especially, or anything about that stuff, I feel like there's a lot of potential that's there.
I've watched what's available for on like in the America side from like when I was a kid, like because I would come home and the episode was almost over, and it was always someone just powering up. I'm like, well, that doesn't tell me what happened in this episode. Thank you. And then I'd miss the like last week on Dragon Ball, every time. So I'd come home, it'd be ending in the power up, and then Pinky and the Brain was on, and then I'd switch channels. So I always
you totally just miss out completely how it is.
I did. It sucked. Like, because at my school, my mom had to drop me off. It wasn't like, oh, I could walk to school kind of thing. I was at a private school, so it was, a 15-minute drive there, 15-minute drive back. And so that 15 minutes always screwed me up, because they would, have it so that kids who have gotten out of school and are home can watch the show, obviously, because that's how you get your viewership. But I wasn't that kid that was like, oh, I just got off the bus, I can run home and make it. No.
Yeah.
So
well, that's unfortunate, man.
I know. I got gypped, but Adam and I want to say last year, we went through and he would fall asleep within like 45 minutes, like he normally does, and so then I would just go back and rewatch all of the episodes, and then like stop it and then go back to the episode he fell asleep on. So I was like triple watching episodes. I was like, well, I'll be really good at trivia here pretty soon if we play a game or something,
I was gonna say, that sounds like a terrible experience.
Really does.
It happens a lot. But I fall asleep watching stuff too. But I'm the jerk that goes and I'm like, I'm gonna watch.
We are
new
really digressing at this point. But other than that, though, I will say this though. Like, I mean, just real quick, that this some of the good news is I am finally closing on my house very soon. So I will be moving. So there might be some things are going to be happening starting next week. Like the stuff is going to be probably start being removed behind me, and things like that. And it's actually kind of funny. So I went to the store, and that was not quick. And but the funniest thing is I went to the store because I needed to find appliances and stuff where I'm going to be moving to, and I saw that because like my favorite color is purple. Y'all definitely don't know this about me, but my favorite color is purple. So like years ago, I had a Nintendo 3DS, and the only reason why I got a Nintendo 3DS was because I had this really shiny purple one that I've always wanted. Is it the one
that had like clear, kind of sparkly?
Yeah, clear and sparkly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. My friend had that.
Yeah. So like I bought it, and then I called it the Grimace. Right. And then most of my friends they knew I had it because like they didn't even call it the 3DS every time I play. It's like, oh, you're playing on the Grimace again? And they're like, yeah. So someone at the time, I believe it's my ex at the time, I let her borrow it and she never returned it back, and like really kind of saddened me. So I was like, no more purple 3DS anymore. So the Grimace
that's just salt in the wound.
Yeah. So like to now, then like years later, I was like, oh, there's a purple PS5 controller. I was like, I got to get the PS5 controller, which I did. And then I saw that they have the shell of the purple PS5. So I was like, should I make a Grimace 2.0? So I think it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But man, those shells are expensive. It's $50 for the shells.
Yeah.
No, and the shell of what?
To put on the PS5.
Yeah, because you know how you can remove the shells of the PS5? The white parts of the PS5 are removable. Yeah. So if I want to remove it and then replace it with the purple, because it's the same purple shade as my controller, and then I was like, okay, I got to get it change that to a purple PS5. I mean, it has to be.
Those are $50 bucks.
Those are $50. Yeah, the colors are $50. Yeah, I know.
Is insane.
That's what I said, and I was like, man, I don't know. It's like I really want to do it, but
she's a purple marker, dog.
It's like sand it down to get purple. I'll be hilarious.
Just
it didn't work.
Well, no, it's funny. Is the only reason I know that they're expensive, someone reached out to me and they're like, hey, I know that you used to make custom computer cases. If I sent you the shell for a PS5 case, could you do it? And I was like, well, maybe. I don't know what the material is and what it would be like to, mess with it. And so they purchased it, and I was like, you're gonna have to sand that down and let me know if something sticks to it, because I don't know what that's like. And once you sand something down, it may not fit right either. So they were looking for a clear one, but they ended up getting white because they couldn't find a clear one. And so
do you know what I miss though? I miss the transparent, like, you remember the
old
N64
Game Boy?
Yeah,
I love it.
The
purple,
transparent.
There's a blue, there's a turquoise.
That neon yellow was really cool. I love that stuff. I wish they did that. I wish they had that. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Although on the PS5 it looks kind of boring because there's actually a cover behind it, so they won't show you the whole thing. And what Retro's saying is like, put a Twitch logo on it. I will never do that.
No.
If I did, I'd probably have like a sticker of Grimace just waving at you. If I did, that would probably be it.
Hey, I could Mod Podge it for you and make it like glittery like the old school ones.
Nah, I'm fine with the purple that they have in this one. This makes it look tight.
Look, I'm gonna pay the $50. I'm just saying.
I knew that your favorite color was purple. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because every time I wear a purple shirt, you're like, oh, I like that color. I'm like, I know, because it's
I need to start wearing more purple shirts on this show then.
Mm-hmm.
You already if anyone has Twitch apparel in some sort of way, there's some sort of purple of some sort,
No, I have that hoodie, and
I thought he was gonna say something else. Sorry. But I want your baseball shirt. I'm glad I got this one, but now I just lost like 15 pounds and like nothing fits me. I feel like I'm fidgeting. Sorry, guys. I'm like, I ordered two.
Oh, no, you are.
Boom, there it is.
There
Boom,
it is.
There it is.
But anyways, let's get on to it. I know y'all don't want to be talking about my ideas of my PS5 turning into the Grimace. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussions in the world of gaming from the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to talk about it about these topics amongst ourselves. We want you, the viewers and listeners of twitch.tv/CFG Games, to be a part of the conversation. So by all means, if there is something that you're wanting to chime in about whatever we talk about, we would love for you to type it inside the chat. We will discuss it. We will have a good old time, and we will go from there. So let's get into it. I will start first. It feels like it's been a while for me to go first on this as of late, but yeah. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about what Lex kind of was talking about last week about it's more piggybacking on what the EVGA news, which is more like, okay, I get it. I know why EVGA really wants to say, screw you, NVIDIA. We're done with your BS. There's no point into to doing it. I want to talk about the 40 series of NVIDIA. I know I don't really talk about computer parts because there's a lot of nerd vomit when it comes into this kind of thing, and we will, but I will try to definitely not make it as dumb or as crazy as it is. Technically, this isn't a returning topic. This is a new thing. So, face Kit Sander. So basically I want to talk about it's okay. So as you know, EVGA bounced out of the NVIDIA game because NVIDIA itself is basically showing no respect to the company. One of the companies or one of the partners have been around with their brand for over 20 some odd years, ever since when NVIDIA was created, like in the late 90s. So what instead of EVGA is pivoting from how it looks like, but we weren't seeing how they were going to fully pivot without losing any kind of steam, but that's not a story. But we had limited information on that. It's been a week. And we've seen the announcement of the 40 series cards at the beginning of this week, and they are powerful. It looks very powerful. They've minimized the size of the GPU graphics chip, but there is a gigantic issue, and that has come across. There's two big issues here. The first issue is this, and if Smitty can go to the website, not the video instead.
Yep.
If you can.
Yep.
And if you scroll down on the page, just go to specs of it. And this is the thing that really like screamed out to me here. And this is the biggest issue I have. And I think this is one thing that I think is incredibly misleading, because if most of you folks like to build your own computers, and for a fact, if you're wanting to get a graphics card, they don't put this information on the box itself. You have to fish for it yourself, like look on the back, and this is in small print and stuff. So I think this is very misleading on NVIDIA side. Sorry, I'm not seeing if you're there or not. Let me make sure. Oh, there you are. Okay, so the card ranges is that instead of a 47, instead of like the 70 series and 80 series and the 90 series, there's going to be two different version 80 series, and there's going to be a 90 series, 4090 series. So the difference with the 80 series is that it's the size of memory inside of it. So there's going to be a 12 gig version, and there's going to be a 16 gig version. That sounds awesome. And we were like, wow, okay, we're going to be getting a lot more RAM. That's why it's costing more. Perfect. Considering it isn't purple. Purple isn't purple color really exists. No, sorry. But anyways, so the biggest thing is this. So it looks great that they're increasing the amount of RAM. That is one half of the deal. But the other half is the CUDA cores. Now, what makes the graphics card work better is the amount of CUDA cores that are inside the card itself. So basically think of it like, how you're wanting to do your user graphic cards for rendering and stuff, rather than you want to do it from the board because it's faster on the graphics card to do it. This is what you're wanting to see. The amount of CUDA cores, if you have a ridiculous amount of CUDA cores, it's going to be faster for the rendering types. So obviously the 90 series is going to be the biggest one, 16,384 CUDA cores added. So That's awesome that it's that big. Now the drop a little that's a minor thing from the 4090 to the 4080 at 16 gigs is a huge drop compared to the 3090 to the 3080 series. So and this series, like, so it is a ridiculous drop to 9728. Still a good card, a card itself, but it's pretty drastic. So the increase, so if you have a 3080 series now or a 30 or a 30 from the previous generation, there's no reason for you to upgrade. You have a better, right. in my eyes, you have a better card than what you have right now to do it. But the swarmiest thing, this is just the most aggravating thing, is the drop from the 4080 to the 4080 12 gig, 9,728 to 7,680. You know what the problem is with that? That range alone in CUDA cores is a 70 series.
Yeah, absolutely.
So switching down to the amount of the CUDA cores that are switching down to what the 12 gig is at, they're charging you a 80 series price for a 70 series card, and then and you're really just getting an increase of RAM to make it look like you're getting a good deal out of it. But in reality, because the range of a 70 series is usually around $600 to $700. Base price on these is $900. For NVidia, the Founders Edition cards are going to be around $900. So yeah, their range is $900 to $1,599, so $900 to $1,600. So my problem is this. This is well, first off, besides the problem, the fact that they're trying to pull a fast one on folks on buying a card that's worse than what you're getting, but giving it a more classier name is insane to me. That's just shady. But what's worse is this. This is the cheapest that these cards are going to be at. That means that the third-party companies, because when I got the information that, so PNY, Asus, Gigabyte, all the companies that make third-party cards are going to also make their own version of the 8012, 8016, and the 4090. This means that those cards at base level are going to be at least 200 higher than than the base MSRP. So they're going to be coming in automatically over $1,100 to close to $2,000 just on their base levels on their prices itself. So I think overall, and then these cards are not small. They're big.
They're now monstrous.
Yeah, they are insanely large. They use things like if you're expecting a computer a simple computer to carry your thing and then have a second device, because like right now I have a full size ATX board on mine, so it has 3 slots. Like this one, some of these cards are 3.5 slots full. So I'm just like amazed. And you should go, and you know what? They're currently available. If you go into any of the manufacturers' websites, MSI, Gigabyte, PNY, any of these websites will show you how the next generation of cards are going to be. These cards are going to be ridiculously expensive. The upgrade from a 30 to 40 is not there. The only gain that you're going to get out of all this is they're using faster RAM, in my opinion, and but these cards are from the longest for the objective, I guess not straight objectifying on it, it's just bullshit. Like, I think this is the worst I have ever seen NVIDIA trying to cheat. They're trying to cheat two people. They're trying to cheat you, the consumer, and they're cheating their third party partners itself. Because I don't see how because maybe the pandemic exposed the demand, I suppose, for it, but that was a special circumstance. I just hope that they're not going to get away with this. That's why I just pray to God that most people are not going to just buy this because it's the brand new series of cards. No, I would stick to a 30 series. 30 series. I think 30 series right now priced exactly where you need to be, and F them on this these specs, because this is freaking insane to me. So what are your thoughts? I'm sorry, it's a lot of information, a lot of data and stuff, but what are y'all's thoughts about this?
I mean, I understand why they stepped away from NVIDIA. I mean, hello? Like last week, we only had bits and pieces, and the way they stepped away was very polite. You had said they basically gave them the fuck you, but they were like, no, we feel disrespected. We've worked with them forever, and now we don't feel like we are a team any longer. And now it's clear as of why. But also, like, why are you making your cards this big? I have so many questions. Let me think for a second. Go ahead, Smitty.
I honestly don't know why they have to be generating a ridiculous amount of heat. That's the only reason why they would have to have these heat sinks have to be as big as they are ridiculously. But I'm sorry. Go on, Smitty. What were we going to say?
So also along with the pandemic, don't forget we had the crypto farming, and I think that inflated them and where things have trended. They've already started going down this path, which are clearly bad moves on their part because this is ridiculous. But that is designed for a big machine that's going to be doing and processing a bunch of stuff. Number one, it's ridiculously big. That the whole thing with the 4080, like that is absolutely ridiculous. Because they're going to try to come in with the 4070 at some point and whatever. And I don't even know what that step looks like. But they left enough room in between to be able to put a TI or something like that in there and then sell that for whatever. So I think that they overestimated what the future was going to be, and they had already gone down and the stuff was already in the production pipe and they can't turn away. And then now you're seeing the ramifications. I feel like this could even, we may even see some of these other partners also do something similar and just step away from it and step away from that sector if they're going to do that. And then they'll end up burying themselves, I feel, because it's not even necessary, dude. Like, it's not necessary. I don't need that much computing power to be able to do what I'm doing. A lot of people don't need that much unless you're doing like huge like video projects or whatever that just needs that kind of power, or you got like a major server that, whatever the case may be. It's just crazy. It doesn't seem it's not consumer friendly. It's becoming non-consumer friendly. You know what I mean?
But that's the weird thing about it. And I'll get to Scyther's chat reply on this, which is actually a good question. I will say this though, it's not the weird thing about this. It's not consumer. It's not just the consumer. It's also their partners. Like, can you imagine this? Like, let's say a company decides to a company leases out their information or their process to make this one piece that makes the one piece to sell through as a third party, like let's say like a plane part or whatever, right? Then they say, okay, we're going to let you lease the part out where you have to pay us a royalty for that. Then they're like, okay, we'll do that and we'll make our own version of this, and then we can sell it out to whoever else. And that's what they did. But then later on, the original company decides, hey, we can make that part too, and but we can make it cheaper because it's our stuff. We don't need to pay a royalty because we're the royalty, So, but we can still lease out that piece to all the other people, the other partners, and then still get money from them to make the same product. But then they obviously have to increase their partners also have to increase their price. So right. then now you're at a point where your pricing is so high that the partners have to go high, to a point. Like, there's no such thing as here's your third party company that's going to make it cheaper than what the proprietary is going to be, because it's impossible. You can't do that because you're already paying a royalty towards it. So so now you're not only cheating the consumer, because the consumer's probably going to be pissed. Will be like, why are you charging like another $1,000 more than what you normally do? Right. And then the reason why is because that they don't have a choice. So now they're like, okay, so that initial company is screwing the consumer, and they're consuming the partners. Hence, that is why EVGA just said F off. Like casually F off to them, and now I have no absolute reason why they, or I can easily see why they would just get fed up, especially 25 years of seeing the growth of the level of their greed to do that. It's like, okay, I can understand that. So I'm sorry. So back to what the real Scyther asked. Does anybody know if EVGA opened a separate R&D department for the chips? You know what's funny to me, Scyther? They didn't officially say that they did, but it is like in my mind, I really think it's impossible to me for them to say, I mean, the name of the company is EVGA. Half of the name of it is graphics, video graphics. I think it'd be naive enough for me to say that that's all that they're working on is just power supplies or their third party things. Right. I think they have something in the works. This is the unofficial thing, but officially they said that they're out of the game. So we can only go by what they're saying. So officially no, they said no, they don't have an R&D on that, but it's more like a giant wink.
I mean,
it's involved.
It feels like if they didn't, they would be missing out on so much. I know that they make enough profit from what they're already selling but if honestly, I genuinely hope that they do, because at this rate,
I think 80% of their business is the cards.
Oh, well, yeah, but okay, so they're EVGA is officially known for two things: graphics cards and power supplies. They have a really good power supply setups. So like the number one is obviously graphics cards, but the number two is definitely their gold standards on their power supplies and platinum standards on it. So it's possible, like, but the thing that throws me off is like saying your business was 300% of video graphics. 300%. And you're saying that you're not, and that you claimed that you're not going to do layoffs, which I think that's BS. There's no way that you're going to keep that kind of overflow of all those people to do it. No, I feel you are doing something. You're not ready to announce it, but I will not be surprised if we'll say EVGA is back, and this time it's personal kind of situation. in my deal.
Sorry, Lex. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're fine. I'm brain dead, so I probably didn't remember what I was going to say anyways. Don't worry about it.
Oh, did I cut you off too? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was totally my bad. I just went in on it. Cause I was just like, that's man, it's really, it's crazy to see things like this, and especially with everything that's out there, and especially with YouTube content and stuff like that, like, to try to, like, this is crazy that they are labeling this a 4080. It's not a 4080. It's not.
Yeah.
I like, this is it's just weird, and the fact that if this whole thing just stinks.
I'm sorry. You did make another good point about it, because you said they made enough leeway between like the 80 series to kind of go up a little bit to make a TI. So essentially, like the feel of the TI. So what you're essentially saying, we know it's coming because NVIDIA always likes to whore out their expansions on their cards, but like they do. It's a simple things they do. So it doesn't even feel like when the 4070 officially comes out, that we know for a fact that card's going to be worse than the 3070 series. Like that, I mean, I don't see how they're going to make how they're going to compare to like whatever the release of their card is for their budget card's going to be, because it's a non-starter at that point. It's all we know is it's going to be more expensive than what we've been paying before. And I just don't see how this is going to work. It's ridiculous.
It'll all be about the sales. You know what I mean? And if people actually do say, you know what, I'm not going to do this isn't needed, or are people going to go out and be like, oh, NVIDIA, blah, 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 let me give me my money, or take my money and I'll take your over ginormous freaking thing. That's really going to be, I think that's really, otherwise, what's going to stop them from continuing doing practices like this and doing stuff like this? Clearly,
the easiest way is just not paying them. Just don't buy their product.
That's exactly right. Right.
That's the easiest thing, but I just hope their sales are so abysmal because of this. Because, dude, this is highway robbery. I do not support this. I would rather wait. I'm like, right now, actually, for me, I'm actually like, I would rather just go on eBay. It's so cheap to get EVGA, like a video graphics card at 30 series right now, and just be straight with it. Because like I am not touching this crap at best. And then let alone if I wanted to wait for a brand new card, I want to see what the next gen RX series is going to be, because this is insane. Yeah.
Well, and like you said, like we've planned on building a third PC forever now. We just unfortunately, every time we get the funds to do so, it's
something else comes up.
Sorry, right. So, it's I agree. And I got my 2070 like gently used. I love my graphics card, but EVGA stepping back and saying like, nope, they just respected us, for me was a huge newsflash. And we're just getting more and more information that this is highway robbery, and the only way to stop them from doing it is not purchasing the products. And there's enough out there right now that you don't have to. You can buy them from a third party, gently used, and be able to do that. Because here's the thing, a lot of people, especially us who stream and game and all of that, we have builds and we add on to them. You get the newer, greater thing, you take your card out, you switch it out, blah, blah, blah. You can't do this with that. That's huge. You would have to get a whole new setup. And I don't think, here's the thing, we just came out of COVID. Inflation is already too high. I mean, paying for groceries, you're like, I have pennies left till my next paycheck. You expect people to not just buy a graphics card, but then to buy a whole new setup on top of that to then build this thing? No, there's no way. Good. There's no way.
I love Scyther's post here. It's like they're all making great sense. I like that. And the kids, there's things like I have an EVGA power supply. It's like a car battery. It really is. But they do last for
they're fantastic.
Like forever. And let's see. And then Scyther said if they've come up with something that they could get to market within 18 months, they could cut NVidia out altogether and have the other third parties recontract with them instead. You know what? To be honest with you, this is like situations like this forces people to get in situations that they to create something just in spite. Because look at Steam. Steam itself was built in spite because of GameStop. That's the only reason why Steam exists, itself. So then you have Intel is finally making graphics cards. Intel's been around for how long, and they decided to start seriously looking into R&D on making their own video graphics card and not playing the game of with Radeon and NVIDIA anymore. So I mean, you're totally right. So I mean, if this is going to make people want to create their cards to stop this giant deal for the big two, then hell, I'm on board. I mean, maybe I'm not going to buy the first ones because most of the companies are going to be shit the first time. But I'm definitely on board, So
I'll be watching.
I won't be watching.
I don't feel like EVGA puts out products that aren't, to their standard in general. So, but just
never
just
buy the first generation of anything.
Oh no, I agree.
Never, except for PS5.
Unless you're
I was about to say.
Just a little tidbit note for anyone who builds computers or is looking into building a computer. Intel things run a little hot, so just make sure you got enough coolant in there. Just saying.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, that's good. Well, anyways, like I said, long story short, please don't get this product. I mean, I don't like to get my give opinions because I don't want things to fail and say absolutely, but dude, NVIDIA deserves this. You shouldn't buy this, but you'll be I just think you're not going to get I don't think you're going to get your money's worth unless you have the money, then I guess go for it. But no, if you're getting budget, buy 3070 series immediately before they sell out, because this is I think that you're going to get yourself the better card between this generation. Maybe a little slower, but it still will be better for your pockets and stuff to get so
I
mean, even the 2070 series is great. So
yeah,
I love my 2070. That's what I run on.
I am running until 2 months ago, I'm running a 1080 Ti. I haven't even been running anything super strong to this extent. So no, I am definitely, oh god, yeah, that's the one thing I'm definitely gonna miss is the non-compete contract from EVGA. That was the one thing that no other company did, which was awesome. with it. And then they also their return policy for like if you weren't convinced of I think it was 90 days that if you didn't like their product, you had 90 days to return it back to them, and then they'll give you the full refund. And no company did that. No graphics card. Yeah, EVGA is a big hit to lose, but we'll see.
That is a big hit. Yeah, that is a big hit for sure.
Like I said, I might just get another EVGA. I might still just get the EVGAs if I can, because I mean, it proves the show. I've had this 1080 for like 8 or 9 years. So has it been 8 years? Well, it's been a while. It's been a long time. So, yes, it's like 4 gens.
You've been streaming for 8 years.
What? No,
what'd you say?
No, I'm talking about the card, the graphics card.
Oh, I got you. Sorry, I kind of. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, I did.
I was reading chat. I was reading chat, and then like I kind of spaced out what you were saying.
It's like F Davis. The chat's more important.
Yo, wrap it up, B.
Okay, right on. Smitty, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of movement that's happened here on Twitch that I'm sure some of you are familiar with. But recently they just put out that they're going to be essentially decreasing the partner payout for subscriptions. Right now it is a 70-30 split that they have, which is, and that's, the bigger ones that they usually have to do a contract and stuff like that basically says that they get this bigger split. That was an incentive to them. They are now lowering that down to a 50-50 split. That's same as anything that we do as affiliates, which is absolutely crazy to me. I've said this for years now, but it's like it never made sense to me why people push for partner and things like that, because I was like, all you get is a check mark. You're not really getting anything. You're still trying to build an audience. They're still not helping you to build an audience. Maybe you do if you're bigger already, but then you'll get like a partner manager. But there's partners that don't even have like a partner manager and stuff like that. So there's a lot behind the scenes. It's just like, that's kind of crazy. I do know though they are pushing super hard with these ad-based incentives now for the partners, and this is kind of how they're trying to justify reducing that, is they are being incentivized to run X amount of commercials within an hour and stream X amount of times, and they will be paid this incentive. I haven't gone in and looked deeply in it. I saw Gathalion had posted one, was like, hey, this is the incentive this month. I think it was like $16,000, which is, I mean, that is crazy, but he's got a huge audience. I love the fact that he was being transparent about it as well. But he's like, basically how he set it up is he just takes breaks when there's commercial breaks. He does the things to be able to do that, and then that way people aren't missing any ads or not any ads, I'm sorry, any of the actual stream and content. He'll wait till it comes out of that, and then he's able to do kind of both. But every community is not going to, and a lot of people do not like ads. They don't want to see that, and it's definitely been moving more and more towards that area. So they have been making some really, really just off-putting changes, I guess. One good thing though that we found throughout this as well is that they lifted the exclusivity clause. Essentially, they basically said that they didn't ever enforce it. And now we're able to more than, because at first they were like, oh, you can do TikTok and Instagram, and they went back and said they're just completely lifting it. So catch us on YouTube and Facebook and stuff as well, which is good.
You broke the floodgates, man. You're like, okay, we have nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's like we want to be able to reach as many people as we possibly can. But this kind of, I don't know, man. Like this just, again, it doesn't really seems. It's a really weird. I guess it's not a weird move, because my guess is that a lot of their dollars is coming from advertising. So they're trying to figure out a way to be able to continue taking in all this advertising and this advertising money, and then making sure that these ads are being placed in front of as many eyeballs as possible, because they've probably made promises and things like that to the people that are putting in this money, or they're selling this advertising spot or these advertising spots and whatnot. And then probably, depending on the creator, you're going to have different levels of pay that you're going to have to pay, because, I'll use Godallion again, a creator like that as to, or the CFG Game Cast, which one is going to be worth more? How many more eyeballs am I going to be able to see? So it's great that they're incentivizing them that way, but I feel like it leaves out a big chunk of their partners, that are monetizing or that are on the platform. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lex, or
I have
whoever.
a question. So as far as I can see, because you said that we can multi-stream, I'm looking, and as of August 15th, or August 25th, technically, there's nothing newer saying yes or no. But as of August 25th, it says partners can multi-stream. However, affiliates are not supposed to. That there is a caveat in our contracts.
But they also said, they said that they will eventually change the guidelines. They're going to
change that in 2023.
I think it's going to be leading to is, well,
they basically said this is something that we don't enforce. We're going to go ahead and change the guidelines and just open it up. So I'm going to take that as you're free to do what you'd like to do.
You know what?
We're not going to do anything.
Yeah, the stance that we should take is ask for forgiveness instead of before asking for permission. Is the way I'm looking at this.
I get that.
So, like, I mean, then we did theoretically went separately, kind of went a long way around it, but now this time I really just don't care, because like I got to a point where it's just I'm done, bro. Overall, okay, I'm looking at that this way, because there's two ways of looking at this. Yes, it sucks with the that they're forcing their partner levels with these commercials, that they're switching over to advertising. But like, I guess if you're looking at it, I mean, and I personally, as a watcher or a viewer of any of these, will definitely feel inconvenience on this unless you're a subscriber, because I think subscribers, you don't get like hit with the commercials individually. Although I will say this is more of a reason to probably get Twitch Turbo at this point. Because like
I don't even know what that is.
Turbo's been around forever. It's been around since day one on it. Twitch Turbo is basically, it's $8, it's $8.99, and it blocks all commercials on all the channels that you go to.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So like, it's more of a reason to do it that way. Then you can still support your streamer and stuff like that. But then at that point, if you want, then you're not going to be like, involved, like, feel like you're
missing
like
out
missing out on anything. But thank you. You went blank there. but I think theoretically though, with the 3 commercials that they're getting, they have to do 3 5-minute commercials. They say the length of time when they have to do these breaks.
I don't remember exactly. I just know, I think it was like 3 within an hour, but it didn't say the length of the break. I think if you just run it, it'll run like 5 to like, sometimes it'll run like 5 to 7 ads.
Yeah, sometimes the 9 ones. Well, 9 ads is just insane. 9 are the ones when you're, 9s are the ones where you go, like when they're in on the ones that are officially like teams are owning it, like Team Phase or something. If you're watching a streamer that's playing it with Team Phase, then you do. They sometimes do up to 9 commercials. Like the revenue that they're with those commercials, people who are willing to put ad space on these streams within Twitch itself to do it. Like, is the real question is, how much money are they getting for these when they do these ads? These ad breaks per their streams, because if they're going to be doing three ad breaks in an hour and for a certain amount of time, and let's say their stream is 4 hours, that means that they have 12 ad breaks. Are they getting? They could be getting even more money on that. that way than it would be if they were just getting their sub count. And then they're definitely pushing that because maybe it's a give and take situation. I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't know, but like maybe the reason why that they're reducing it down to a 50-50 split on subs is because they know they're going to get more money on those ad breaks than they would be getting if they got with the sub counts. Because some of these people, I like the tweet that you retweeted yesterday about that girl bullying this one person to get a sub.
Oh my God! I thought that was a joke. It's not.
No, I think that's like a kink thing, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
That's like a thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
People like it's almost like a dominatrix type of thing. Like they like I don't know. Like that's I didn't even know that was a thing. Cause I saw that and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I just don't understand it either.
Like,
it's pretty
crazy.
crazy.
You want to watch that person?
Yeah,
like
I'm
what?
just saying. Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but that's what I'm wondering. I mean, what were you going to say something, Lex? I'm sorry, I didn't see.
I don't know. Like this whole thing, I don't, it's between the Twitch drama and like what Twitch is doing, and then YouTube's like, hey, you might want to come over here. I'm just like, I don't know anymore. I don't know. And I joke that the reason I've always been on Twitch and not on YouTube is because I feel that for my own mental health, I don't know if I could get a barrage of hate on YouTube comments. Because in Twitch it's a little different. I feel a little safer. I have my moderators. I don't really know how YouTube works, and I'm sure you have moderators and you can do all of that as well. But I've always felt like I don't want to read mean comments about myself. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, but at this point, it's like what I get hate raids anyway. What's the point? Why am I doing this to myself? But it is what it is. I mean, here's the thing too. Even if you're a Twitch partner, you cannot expect to get a constant paycheck every month. Things change. People, like myself, I got, hit with the passing of my dad. And so it's like every little penny that we had is going into certain things right now. And I can't sub to people. I can't even stream at this rate. But I think people have this huge misconception because I get asked all the time, well, how much do you make per month? Per month? What are you talking about, Willis? Shit.
Right.
Like,
you're lucky
I'm
if I get a payout.
Right. I'm lucky if I get a payout. I'm surprised when I get a payout, and at the end of the day, like the subs for me were never a thing. I don't do subathons. I don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah.
I've never liked it. I always felt a little icky about it. It's like loose change if I do that. And I can't.
Yeah.
My goal has always been to get big enough to where I can get partnerships and that pays me. That was always my goal, right? Because I want to work with companies that I like, that I enjoy, and I can, hey, I like this product, and here's why, because I've been using it for years, right? But I don't know, everything just feels so dirty and greedy right now, and it's just irritating.
Well, that's why that's why, like I said, like when I made CFG Games, I just wanted to do it because we get an abundance of different kinds of games. I like to game occasionally to clear off on stuff. So I didn't really see this overall as a full source of like, because we didn't get that, we don't get our money mostly on Twitch itself. And we kind of do it, we get it from our website, shameless plug, confreaksandgeeks.com. But still, the whole thing is, but like I'm just saying that like the from what other people were saying up top here, like they were saying earlier that the real issue remains retrolag. Said earlier that the real issue remains is to be there's no way to lower the CPMs, which are the ad cells, at which means that more ads will be played, which could affect users watching. That this is yet to be seen, which is incredibly true because we don't have that information. We won't know this until the change actually comes into effect. Until we actually get true data on this, and then it's a possibility that they'll either make more or they'll make less. But we have to see and to see where there's going to be to kind of have definitive proof that you have to work harder to get the same amount of money that you're getting that you're losing from the 20% that you're losing. And you also have to be a partner, let alone like we need to find like the median, which is a mid-level partner, like, you know what I mean, like, or mid or low level partner, one that doesn't that is a partner but not ones that are like incredibly popular, the ones that are like 5,000-10,000, to do that. And so the whole thing is like, but overall, I also kind of get to the point that the real Scyther also kind of said that they don't know that they don't know their own success. You know what I really think overall? Twitch is basically an incredible tax break for Amazon. That's the way I look at it at this point, because the way that they're treating the community alone, the way that they've been upgrading, like, you know, the way that they kind of the levels in the process they've been upgrading the services and stuff has been so gradual and has been minuscule. And then I think the proof of that is definitely the no gambling ban that has been in the gray area for years, for years. And then until a series of people got scammed by a close friend, and then they were so mad at it that they were telling Twitch, you really need to ban gambling. They took days for it to get completely banned. I was just like, wow, okay, there you go. What were you gonna say, Lex?
No, I saw that on Twitter. Like Anita, a partner that I follow, she's Tourette's. She's amazing. I love her. But she was like, dude, I'm friends with him, and this is the DMs. He tried to scam me too. And I was like, I'm not gonna give you cash. I'll buy you a plane ticket if that's what you need.
Yeah, I saw that.
Then,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. I got it figured out. Yeah, sure you did. Here's the thing. I've made so many friends on the internet, but if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, Lex, I got into this really horrible situation and I happen to have the extra money, and they're like, I need $200 to, you know, get from point A to point B. I'm not giving you cash. I will offer to buy you a ticket to get out of there, but I ain't giving you cash. I'm not nope, not doing that.
But see,
sorry.
I think the normal thing is $200 and stuff. Dude, this person,
Thousands.
$300,000, over $300,000 his own. And the way that he did it wasn't like he was asking like me say, hey, Smitty, let me borrow like $5,000 and stuff. He knew how he was doing. You bastard. He knew how he was going to do it. He bulkily did it at the same time, so there was virtually no trail. So like, it wasn't like I asked you 1 minute like for today, and then 5 days later I asked Lex. It's rather he asked like 20 high-end streamers, and then and then also mixed in with his group of people to do like his group of his community to do it, and then boom, there you go. I mean, it's good that gambling is banned. I personally have thought that gambling should have been banned a long time ago, but I don't like the way that it was banned and how fast it was banned, because these people got scammed by their own friend to do it. It's just it kind of shows you who they listen to from the most part, you know. And it's like, oh no, forget the other kind of spam and stuff like that. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
Shut up.
I wouldn't want to say anything like that, but because I don't want to get, but still, like, you know, but I'm just saying it's like, it's just stupid. But as for this, it's an interesting way of what Twitch is trying to do. It's just, I don't know any good out of this, but I need to wait for more information itself on if the like, is it going to be proven to them was it proven to them that they're going to get more money on these ad breaks, or like how this is going to work? Because it looks like they are going to be taking a dip out of more cash on the outside, you know. So
yeah, no, it's crazy. But on the flip side of that, though, you know, on the flippity flop, that's what I kind of yeah. You know, YouTube has made some changes, and they have some changes that are being implemented to their shorts. Their shorts are now going to be monetizable, which is huge, because there's people that will just make specific, like I've seen people get huge numbers, and like they have a program right now where, you know, or not even a program, I'm sorry, they have something where like if somebody, like if you have a ton of views or something like that, like they'll give you some sort of something. But there's no like official program or anything for it. So there is going to be they are going to be doing that. The other huge thing that's big about that is they're actually going to be expanding their partner program. They are actually making it easier for people to get into their partner program to be able to monetize not only their videos, but then their shorts as well. My suggestion is to start doing it now. I've started messing around with it. There's programs and like websites like Streamladder. There's another one, I can't even remember the name of it. It is
TikTok. What? Who?
It's like basically it'll take your clip and you can make it a 4:3 size or whatever the size that people view it on those, like for the shorts and stuff like that. Yeah, but sure. I'm not 100% sure. I've heard of StreamYard before, but I've never used it. But it'll do it. And like you can like isolate your face cam to like have it there, and then like basically use clips and then repurpose them for shorts and reels and things like that nature. So I've been kind of messing around with it and whatnot. But like the fact that you're able to monetize it, I think is huge. And I'm curious to see, they're rolling out with this stuff. They just rolled out with YouTube podcasts as well. So there's its own dedicated channel to podcasts on YouTube now. I feel like YouTube is definitely worth another look. And I'm curious to see, especially with this 50-50, and how those numbers actually even out. I'm taking away the huge streamers. Again, like I said, the incentives for them running ads, although I think they're still going to have a negative effect, not necessarily particular streamers, but I feel like some streamers are going to be like, I don't want this for my community. I'm not going to be running a ton of ads. And then now they've got less of a cut from subs, and they're not making advertising money either. So it's just like, all right, man, well, maybe I just go over to YouTube. They got all kinds of stuff going on. I could take this stuff, repurpose, whatever. I'm curious to see. I think things are heating up. Definitely, you could definitely feel the difference from a YouTube stream than a Twitch stream. It just feels different. But they're getting there.
It feels like they're actually trying to invite new blood into revitalizing kind of the way the stuff goes. So,
and I find that really interesting because I don't know if it was last year, or the year before, but YouTube made it harder for you to
2 years ago
monetize.
It was 2 years ago because I originally was able to monetize, then they ripped it out from me. But then again, to be fair, I was making a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah. It just like the number jump that they did to be able to monetize something. I was like, I guess I'm never going to YouTube, because at the time I was thinking about it. I was like, I have a few things edited I could throw up on there and see how they go, and then go live and try it. And then that happened. I was like, never mind. I immediately got discouraged.
Well, a lot of people are still discouraged.
I'm gonna do some digging.
I just think that you should still just do it, just to like, but don't like just do it and just like learn to it has to be word of mouth initially for small people, initially for small viewers and stuff, because it's impossible to kind of go try to depend on the algorithm on YouTube. But it's just good that I think I have fun I just have a fun time doing them, because like when I do pop culture gems and then also this show and stuff, I would love to kind of get it. Like it's really cool to kind of check out the comments of the people who are listening to it or watching it, and then just try to make it grow itself. And then it's actually kind of fun because like when you think about it, the amounts that they're asking isn't like it's impossible. It's just, think of it like it's not an overnight thing. It's more like it's just small steps. It's just the small steps that you're just needing to do. So this is it's just the biggest thing that you're just really just take your time, slow and steady will win the race on that. So it's okay. But other than that, I just love before we drop off on that, I just love the retros thing. It's like, hey, let me borrow a stack of these purple PS5 plates. So yeah. So I guess we just gotta wait and see what Twitch is going to do, and I definitely want to find out. Like I want to find out with some friends I know that see how bad it's going to be affected. So yeah, I mean, it's when you see a change like that, what you do see is the big negative, which is the 20% drop. But I'm just seeing the good out of people at this situation, that maybe they had to have done their research to say you have to do there had to be a reason why they wanted you to do 3 breaks in an hour, like in its sense, and then it has to be specific lengths of time itself. I refuse to believe that they're just going to say, oh, we're going to take 20% more off of your revenue of what you get on your subscriptions and not going to replace it with anything else. Unless they're getting hands over fist over money off of the advertisements that they're initially getting, and they're seeing a lot of money coming back to it, and they're wanting to disperse it out to you. That seems
I don't think your average partner has that many views, because I mean you gotta think, dude, like it's small change that they're getting, nothing crazy. That's but true. Because these people that have huge viewerships, that's a ton of eyeballs, that stuff. Here's this incentive.
But the middle
but
people
your
are probably
average
gonna get screwed.
person, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, I can't live off this. I can't. You know, what is this? Like,
I just want to know.
I'd love to see what that data looks like.
I just want to see the reckoning to just see what's going to happen, because if that's going to happen, there's going to be mass people are going to be leaving at that point, because if that's the case. So let's just see where this is going to go. You know.
Yep.
Lex, why don't you close us off?
I got you. Well, mine's not controversial. You know, there's not gonna be a whole lot of chit chat, but okay, yeah, true. So Spider-Man Miles Morales is gonna have a PC version. I'm super stoked about this. I know that the original Spider-Man had been released on PC not too long ago, but now they've stated that Miles Morales will launch in 2022. So hopefully in the next couple of months, because they said fall, we're here. So I'm wondering when they're gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? But the trailer looks really cool. I'm super stoked. I liked the first Spider-Man, and Davis and I were arguing before podcast because I was like, I don't like taking pictures, and that's why I stopped playing it. He's like, well, it's not mandatory. I was like, shut your face. I believe it is, but that happened 4 years ago. So if you guys please correct us in
someone
the
knows,
comments,
because like
someone knows.
Yeah, if someone knows it, because I know there is a photo trophy, because that's how you get it for a deal, but it's not part of the story, I don't think.
No, I'm pretty sure that it was, and I couldn't advance because I refused to take some stupid freaking pictures. But I loved the game. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Iron Man are like my two faves. However, I was really excited for Miles Morales. I had seen some gameplay. I tried not to watch too much because I really wanted to enjoy it for myself and be surprised. So I was really excited when this is coming to PC. And if you don't know, I loved my PlayStation. I still love my PlayStation. I just can't play on controllers anymore because I have arthritis, and I'll go to bed at night and my hands start to spasm and I cry. So PC for me, where I can keep my hands flat on my mouse and my keyboard, is the way to go. And if you say, well, Lex, you could play your keyboard and mouse when you play PlayStation, there's a delay. I don't want to hear it. There's a delay. I know these things. There's a delay. But I enjoy PC a lot more than I do playing with controller. And so for me, this was really exciting. And I was curious, are you guys going to buy it? Are you going to play it? Tell me. I know you. Yep. Okay.
It's not because I hate it. I platinumed it. I don't need to play it again. I liked it. It was good.
I already own it for PlayStation 5, so I just haven't gotten to it yet because I want to do the rest of the DLC for Spider-Man that I haven't gone back to in forever before I move on to this. So Spider-Man 2 should be out by the time I start thinking about actually playing this game.
Spider-Man 2? Oh, damn.
To be honest with you, though, oh, man, you just bought a PS... Okay, so in this situation, like, really sideball, you just bought a PS5 to get Miles Morales. But, like, other than that... Well, you got a PS5... Hey, dude, PS5 next year... Okay, dude, and this is my quote right now. PS5 in 2023 is going to be worth it.
That's where it started hitting, running on all cylinders and stuff like that. Yeah.
Full deal. So don't worry about the $500 purchase. You know, it's funny. I'm actually thinking about buying another one.
I was thinking about getting one.
Yeah.
And then seeing if Lex wanted it.
Okay.
See? And then you said after all the bad things you said behind his back.
No, if I can get my hands on more, I absolutely would. I know there's a couple friends though that are looking for it too. So like before I got an extra one for myself, I would hit up my friends.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I need to get I want to get.
I was like, I'm good. I don't have the money.
You did. You had the chance, so that was on you.
I did.
The money. You shut your face, okay?
I'm not. Yeah,
don't worry. It went to a great dude. It went to a great dude.
I know. No, and I'm happy. At the time, I was like, I'm in the past. I also, at the time, my dad had been asking me a lot about the PlayStation 5, and I was like, ooh, he might be getting the house, like for Adam and I, one for Christmas. So maybe I'll step back. And then I don't remember what he ended up getting. I think he got me a piece of jewelry instead.
You might have said something about that.
He was asking, and I remember telling him, like, my dad keeps asking me about the PlayStation 5, like really intense, like, let's talk about the specs. Let's talk about the, the pros and the cons. And would you guys play it? And I was like, ooh, he's asking questions for Christmas. And so I was like, maybe not. And then I remember after I said no, my dad goes, I can't get a hold of one. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, like, I think that, I think I personally I like Miles Morales more than I like the original Spider-Man, and the original Spider-Man it's a great game. The original Spider-Man is a great game. It's not saying that it's worse or bad.
Like taking pictures.
You don't need to take the pictures. It's not like you have to. Absolutely, it was only going to do this. But So like Miles Morales version is going to come. Do they have a street date on it, or do they have an estimate? It's coming when?
They do not. They said fall of 2022. So
okay,
first day of fall was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know the exact
So
day.
hopefully in October, I would assume. Bless you. That is when we can expect to see it, or maybe sooner. I mean, they might surprise us. PlayStation, I feel like lately is like, oh, it's gonna be in spring, summer, and then they're like, boom, here it is, ta-da! And we don't really get a lot of updates. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's how I've been feeling about PlayStation lately.
They've actually been on top on their game, though. I mean, if God of War comes out. If God of War comes out the day that comes out, because like would be shocked that they said, because they did not. There's no so far they haven't said any delays.
I know, dude. I've been kind of holding off on getting excited about it because I'm like, I'm just waiting at any point in time. I'm like, we're sorry to say 2023 looks like it's going to be the time. This really makes me excited for PC. I'm glad that PlayStation is a lot more open up now to porting stuff over to the PC. Obviously, it's like a year or later that it ends up coming over. But it's cool to see that this stuff is actually making its way. And folks that don't have a PlayStation have the ability to play some of those games that I mean, absolutely amazing. I feel like everybody should have the opportunity to play these games.
I think Sony finally found that in between on where they can have their cake and eat it, because because it's exclusivity. The biggest thing is that they're not paying anybody anything on the, if it's on their system for a while. And then when they release it on Steam, there is a little bit less of an income that's coming, like a percentage that's taken out of it, of the digital front, but it's still selling good enough that they're like, oh wow, okay, here you go. Because I mean, dude, like, I mean, Returnal. If Returnal's coming on PC, which is freaking insane to me, and that's awesome. That's I believe that's the first true PS5 game that's going to be on PC here.
That's crazy.
Year. I believe you're correct.
Yeah. So like when they decide to do stuff like that, I just believe that they found that median. They're getting a good profit that they're satisfied with, and then they'll be like, okay, here we go. So hopefully we're not going to be waiting longer enough. Hopefully we don't going to be seeing Forbidden West on PC 2024 or 2025 or whatever. But still, but like hopefully it's going to ramp up on their exclusivities. Like I'm surprised. Like one I'm really surprised that it's not there yet is Uncharted. Like you would think Uncharted would have been in, but
maybe
it's coming. It has to come.
I don't know. I find it kind of weird, or not weird, but funny that they complain about exclusivity with the Microsoft Activision basically merge or buyout. But it's like that's clearly what they, that is literally, that's been your guys' plan all along. Like, how could you possibly say, well, what if they do that? Then what do you think you've been doing? Like, what are you talking about? It's great to see these games come over and to be able to do that. Thank you for the follow, Chrissy. It's just I think people are gonna love this. I'm excited for more games, and also too, I believe it's this week. It's coming up real soon. Deathloop is gonna be on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass and you have not had the chance to play Deathloop yet, it's gonna be free on Game Pass. I highly recommend. I absolutely love that game.
I don't know if you guys are subscribed, but I'm subscribed to the Smitty alerts, and I got one the other day about Deathloop, and I was very excited. It came across my phone. Alert! It's coming to you. I was like,
this is a non-fundable
already. There we go. It happened. I knew it was coming up. I was trying to look at the date. It's already come out. Retro says perfect. There you go. You better get on it. We know what Lex is gonna be doing tonight.
No, I'm gonna be helping Donald Duck out. He's pissing me off.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
my game is still open. I saved it. I was like, I'm closing it.
Wait, what's out? What was out already?
Deathloop.
Oh, Deathloop. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, okay. I need to play that game. I still haven't played it.
Yeah, you got to, man. It's great. I enjoyed it. I won't say anything about anything. it is
I
a bit of a ride.
Great time. That was actually, I believe, one of your game of the years last year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He loved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, I love you, Smitty. I'm gonna put you on my monitor, but I'm not gonna watch because I want to play it. And he was like, I totally understand.
I get it.
Well, come on, the announcement, because I mean, like, even Miles Morales is coming out. Spider-Man 2, the game is coming out next year. Hopefully, the big one's next year. I want to know about the Wolverine game, because I guess that's the closest X-Men game I'm going to.
That's going to be a thing.
Yeah. But Star Fox 64. No. Although I will, Star Fox 64 was tight. But it was. No, I just don't. I just think that it's going, like, there's just going to be so many games, I believe, on PS5 is going to be upcoming. Miles Morales did a great job to set it up for what's coming in the near future. So yeah, sweet deal, so
nice.
Folks, thank you for listening to or being a part of the conversation of episode number 149 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you once again for joining us. We will be back again next Friday. But if you did miss out on this episode, on the discussion, that is perfectly okay. We release it on all podcast services at the beginning of each week on Monday mornings. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, guys, thank you. And also, so check out the awesome interview that we did with the founders of a new convention called UbuCon in Phoenix, Arizona, with the awesome voice actor Erica Schroeder, who played Luffy in the 4Kids version of One Piece, and amongst of all virtually like 50, 70 different kinds of Pokemons in her career. I will definitely, so definitely check it out on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com. But once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all, take it easy.